I'm Chris, and this afternoon I'm walking from Saltdean to Newhaven. Welcome to Coast and Country Walks. This afternoon's walk is across the cliff tops, through Peacehaven and on to Newhaven Port. At about 5 miles, it should take around 2 hours to walk. I took one of the many buses from Brighton to Saltdean Lido to start my walk today. Being on the cliff tops, this is not a walk I would recommend on a very windy day, but today is looking fine and dry. I walk up the cliff, past the memorial and on towards Telscombe Tie. Keep an eye out for burrows in the ground as you approach the White Pub. Here I have to walk along the roadside, just for 100 metres or so, past a field which seems to be a haven for rabbits. Maybe we should call it Rabbit Haven. The route continues down a narrow path beside the Smuggler's Rest pub and back out to the cliff edge, and I follow it east for several miles through Telscombe and on to Peacehaven. I pass through several park areas which often have something interesting going on, but not today. In the distance I see another monument which marks a special place on the British coastline. This monument marks the spot where the meridian line enters the UK and heads on to Greenwich and beyond. It represents the 0 degrees longitude line that runs all the way from the North to the South Pole. Here we cross the Greenwich meridian from west to east. As I carry on up the coast, I see the Transmarsh ferry setting off on its way to Dieppe. In the distance I can see the Seven Sisters Hills, which stretch beyond Newhaven and on to Eastbourne. I'll cover that walk another day. The cliff top is a haven for dog walkers, and of course dogs. I stop at a viewpoint where there are steps down to another stretch of undercliff path that runs for a few miles. We leave Peacehaven behind and head into a more rugged part of the Seahaven Coastal Trail. The pathway crosses a small chasm in the cliff face, but there is a handy footbridge now in place to help traverse the gap safely. This is our last chance to catch a glimpse back at Brighton before we start our descent down into Newhaven. The Newhaven cliffs are very popular with paragliders, who can often be seen riding the thermals above the hills. At Castle Hill I start to get great views of the harbour wall and lighthouse, and the vistas across Newhaven town and the River Ouse. On the cliff tops I pass the Coast Guard station, and this gets us to Newhaven Fort, a 19th century fort built to defend the harbour. The fort is now open to the public as a museum and well worth a visit. Down in the port is the home of the Transmarsh ferry and the Newhaven lifeboat. We've arrived at Newhaven at the end of the walk, and now we're going to have a pint in the Hope Inn. After some refreshment, we head off along the river and over the swing bridge to Newhaven Town railway station to catch the train back to Brighton. I hope you give this walk a try sometime. Goodbye. If you like these videos, then please do subscribe, click on like and let us know in the comments what else you would like to see.